The Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council was filled with alien leaders from different worlds. They sat in a circle, their faces tense and serious. The air was thick with unease as they discussed a growing threat, the humans of Earth. For years, humans had been expanding their reach, exploring new planets and developing advanced technologies. Many council members believed this made them a danger to the galaxy. A tall, blue-skinned alien named Vorax stood up. He was known for his sharp mind and strong opinions. "We must act now before it is too late," he urged. "Humans are becoming too powerful. They have weapons that could challenge even our best fleets. If we let them grow stronger, they may try to take over." A murmuring agreement spread around the room. Other leaders nodded, their eyes filled with worry. Xylara, a leader from a peaceful planet, spoke next. "But attacking Earth could lead to war. Are we ready for that? The humans are fierce fighters. We have underestimated them before." Vorax slammed his fist on the table. "Underestimating them is exactly what we cannot do. We must send a message that we will not tolerate their growth. A swift attack will show them their place." The council listened closely as the debate continued. Some members feared the consequences of an attack, while others were eager to act. Tensions rose as voices grew louder. Finally, a quiet leader named Tarek stood up. He had always been calm, but now he had a determined look on his face. "If we attack, we must be united," Tarek said. "Our fleets must strike together. If we do not, we risk losing everything. We must ensure every member of the council is on board with this decision." Vorax nodded. "I agree. We can launch a surprise attack on their military bases. They will never see it coming. We will hit hard and fast. Once we show our strength, they will know better than to challenge us again." The other leaders began to murmur again, considering Vorax's bold plan. Xylara looked worried. "And what if we fail? What if the humans fight back harder than we expect? We have to think of the safety of our own people." Vorax waved her concerns away. "The humans are scattered and uncoordinated. They cannot match the might of the Galactic Council. We have the numbers and the strategy to win this fight." After much discussion, the council agreed to proceed with the plan. They decided to launch their attack at dawn. It would be a surprise, striking at the heart of humanity's defenses. The leaders left the chamber, some feeling anxious and others feeling bold. Meanwhile, on Earth, military leaders were receiving urgent messages from their spies in space. They learned of the council's plans and quickly convened to discuss their next steps. Commander Sarah Green, a respected leader known for her bravery, listened closely as her officers laid out the intelligence. "The Galactic Council is planning a massive attack on our military bases," one officer reported. "They believe we are weak and divided." Sarah's expression hardened. "We can't let them take us by surprise. We need to prepare our forces immediately. We must unite our military and show them we will not back down." The room buzzed with urgency. They knew they needed to act quickly. Sarah rallied her team, emphasizing the importance of defending their planet. "We must warn the people and get everyone ready for battle. This is our home, and we will fight for it." As the human leaders spread the warning, the first rays of dawn began to shine over the Galactic Council's fleet. Ships lined up in formation, ready to launch their surprise attack. The fate of both the humans and the Council hung in the balance. Little did they know the humans would not be the easy target the Council expected. They were ready to fight back, willing to defend their world at all costs. As the first light of dawn broke over Earth, a sense of urgency filled the air. The news of the Galactic Council's attack spread quickly. Military bases were buzzing with activity as soldiers scrambled to prepare for war. Commander Sarah Green stood in front of a large map in the command center, her expression serious. She had always been a strong leader, but this situation was unlike anything she had faced before. "We have no time to waste," she said, addressing her team of officers. "The Council thinks they can defeat us easily. We need to show them they are wrong. We must unite every military branch and prepare for battle." Her officers nodded, their faces set with determination. Captain Lucas, a young but skilled pilot, stepped forward. "What's our plan, Commander? We need to strike back hard and fast before they reach our bases." Sarah tapped the map, pointing to several key locations. "We will set up defenses at these sites. I want our best soldiers and equipment at each base. We need to protect our cities and show the Council that we will not be pushed around." As the team discussed the plan, messages were sent out across the country. Every soldier, every pilot, and every naval officer received the call to arms. Citizens watched with concern as military vehicles rolled through the streets. The mood was tense, but there was also a sense of pride. People knew their soldiers were ready to fight for their home. Across the nation, families gathered to support their loved ones. Parents hugged their children, partners held hands, and friends shared encouraging words. They knew that their soldiers would face a powerful enemy, but they believed in their strength and courage. In a nearby military base, soldiers prepared their aircraft for battle. The sound of engines roared to life as pilots climbed into their jets. Among them was Captain Lucas, whose heart raced with excitement and fear. He had trained for moments like this, but now the reality felt different. The Galactic Council was not just another foe. They were a powerful force threatening Earth. "Let's show them what we can do," Lucas said to his fellow pilots as they checked their gear. They exchanged determined nods, ready to take to the skies. Meanwhile, on the ground, Sarah and her team worked tirelessly to coordinate defenses. They set up communication lines and connected with other military branches. "We need to share information and strategies," Sarah insisted. "We can't afford to operate separately. If we work together, we have a chance to turn the tide." As the hours passed, the military prepared for the worst. Soldiers trained hard, practicing maneuvers and sharpening their skills. Tanks rolled out and artillery units took their positions. The nation held its breath, knowing that the battle could come at any moment. At the same time, the message from Earth echoed across the galaxy. "Flee while you can! The Galactic Council is coming!" The warning reached many alien species, causing some to reconsider their loyalties. Some ships began to change course, deciding that siding with humanity might be a better choice than facing the Council's wrath. Back at the command center, Sarah received reports from scouts monitoring the Council's fleet. "Commander, their ships are moving closer," an officer warned. "They'll reach our outer defenses within hours." Sarah's heart raced, but she remained focused. "We need to be ready. Every soldier must know their role. We cannot show weakness. We will stand and fight." As the sun set, casting an orange glow over the horizon, the atmosphere grew charged with anticipation. The soldiers gathered for a final briefing, standing tall and resolute. Sarah stepped forward, looking at their determined faces. "We are fighting for our homes, our families, and our future. The Council thinks they can take that from us, but we will show them that we are stronger together. We will not back down." Cheers erupted from the crowd, echoing through the base. As the night fell, the soldiers prepared for battle, each knowing they had a part to play in defending their world. The Galactic Council may have thought they could intimidate humanity, but Earth was ready to fight back. With hearts full of courage, the soldiers awaited the dawn, knowing that they would face whatever came their way together. The sun rose over Earth, casting a golden light on the military bases brimming with activity. Soldiers moved with purpose, their hearts pounding with a mix of fear and excitement. Commander Sarah Green stood at the center of her command post, her eyes fixed on the large screens displaying the Galactic Council's fleet approaching. "Get ready, everyone!" she shouted, her voice steady. "The Council will be here soon. Remember our training and stay focused. We can do this together!" As the soldiers prepared, Captain Lucas climbed into his fighter jet. He tightened his harness and looked at his co-pilot, Sergeant Mia. "Are you ready for this?" he asked, trying to hide his nerves. Mia nodded, her expression serious. "We've trained for this moment. Let's show them what we can do." The roar of engines filled the air as jets took off one by one, slicing through the sky like arrows. The pilots maneuvered their planes into formation, ready to defend their planet. Meanwhile, on the ground, troops set up defenses. Tanks rolled into position, and artillery units were placed strategically around the base. The soldiers were alert, waiting for the enemy to arrive. As they looked up at the sky, they saw the dark shapes of the Council's ships approaching, blocking out the sun. The sight sent a wave of determination through them. They were ready to fight for their homes. Suddenly, an alarm blared throughout the base, breaking the tense silence. "Enemy ships incoming!" The call echoed over the intercom, sending adrenaline rushing through the soldiers. Sarah grabbed the microphone, her voice calm and commanding. "All units, prepare to engage! Hold your positions! We will defend our world!" The Council's fleet descended from the sky like a storm. Their massive ships were intimidating, armed with powerful weapons. But the humans were not afraid. They had trained hard for this moment, and they were determined to protect their planet. As the first shots were fired, explosions rocked the ground. The Council's ships unleashed a barrage of energy blasts, hitting the defenses with deadly precision. Dust and debris filled the air, but the soldiers held their ground. "Return fire!" Sarah ordered. Artillery units roared to life, sending shells flying toward the enemy ships. The ground shook with each explosion as the soldiers fought back with everything they had. In the sky, Lucas and Mia flew their fighter jet into the chaos. They dodged enemy fire and engaged council fighters in a deadly dance of aerial combat. Lucas focused on his targets, his heart racing as he pulled the trigger. Missiles shot from the wings of their jet, hitting enemy fighters and sending them spiraling down to Earth. "Good shot," Mia cheered, her eyes wide with excitement. "Let's keep moving!" As they fought, the Council's ships began to realize that the humans were not as weak as they had thought. The humans fought fiercely, using clever tactics to outmaneuver the larger, slower ships. Some pilots made daring dives, evading enemy fire and striking with precision. Back on the ground, Sarah's strategy was paying off. Troops moved in coordination, launching counterattacks against the invading forces. The Council was taken by surprise. They had not expected such a strong defense from Earth. "Push forward!" Sarah shouted to her troops. "We can drive them back!" The soldiers cheered, their spirits lifting with each small victory. They worked together, aiming their weapons and taking down enemy fighters. As they fought, they remembered the message they had sent across the galaxy: "Flee while you can." With each explosion, the humans showed that they were ready to defend their home. The Council's arrogance began to crumble as they realized they were facing a determined and united force. In the chaos, Lucas spotted a massive council ship, its weapons aimed at the command center. "We have to stop that ship," he shouted to Mia. "Let's do it," she replied, her hands steady on the controls. With skill and bravery, they flew toward the enemy ship, dodging fire and taking aim. In that moment, they knew they were fighting not just for their lives, but for the future of humanity. As they closed in on their target, the battle raged on around them, the fate of Earth hanging in the balance. The battle raged on, and the sounds of war echoed across the battlefield. Explosions lit up the sky as the Galactic Council's ships clashed with Earth's defenses. Commander Sarah Green watched from the command center, her heart pounding with determination. They were holding strong, but the Council was relentless. "Status report," she called out, her voice cutting through the chaos. "Commander, we've taken down several enemy fighters," an officer replied, pointing at the screens displaying the battle. "But their larger ships are still advancing. We need a new plan." Sarah took a deep breath. The soldiers on the ground fought valiantly, but they were outnumbered. "We can't let them break through our defenses. We need to target their command ship. If we take that down, we might disrupt their entire fleet." Meanwhile, in the skies above, Captain Lucas and Sergeant Mia maneuvered their fighter jet through a storm of enemy fire. They were determined to turn the tide of battle. Lucas spotted a massive council ship at the center of the enemy formation. Its dark hull loomed ominously, and it was clearly directing the assault. "There it is! That's the command ship!" Lucas shouted, gripping the controls tightly. "We have to destroy it." Mia nodded, her face serious. "Let's make our approach quick and quiet. We can't let them see us coming." They dove down, skillfully dodging blasts from enemy fighters. With each twist and turn, they felt the thrill of the fight. The command ship was heavily guarded, but Lucas was determined. "I'll distract them. You lock onto their weapons systems." "Got it," Mia replied, her fingers dancing over the controls. As they flew closer, Lucas executed a daring maneuver, flying right through a gap in the enemy formation. The Council's fighters turned to chase them, leaving the command ship slightly exposed. "Now, Mia!" he yelled. Mia quickly adjusted her targeting system. "Firing missiles!" She pressed the button, and 2 missiles shot from their jet, streaking toward the command ship. The missiles hit their target, causing a massive explosion. The command ship shook violently, and alarms blared. "Direct hit!" Mia cheered, adrenaline surging through her. But the fight was far from over. Back on the ground, Sarah watched the screens with hope. "We've got a chance! Keep the pressure on! All units, focus your fire on that command ship." The soldiers rallied, their spirits lifted by the success of Lucas and Mia. Artillery units fired, and tanks targeted the same ship. It was time to strike with everything they had. Explosions erupted around the command ship, smoke and debris filling the air. Inside the command ship, panic spread among the Council's crew. They had not anticipated such fierce resistance from Earth. "Reinforce our defenses! We can't let them breach the hull!" an officer shouted. But the humans were relentless. With each blast, they weakened the ship's armor, making it harder for the Council to retaliate. "We're breaking through!" Sarah exclaimed, her eyes gleaming with determination. As the fight intensified, Lucas and Mia pulled off another daring move. They executed a sharp turn, coming back for another pass at the command ship. "Let's finish this!" Lucas declared. Mia set her sights on the ship's main weapon systems. "I'll hit their power core this time," she replied. With steady hands, she locked onto the target and fired again. This time, the explosion was massive. The command ship shuddered and began to drift, smoke billowing from its hull. "Yes!
We did it!"
Lucas shouted, feeling a rush of victory. Back on Earth, the soldiers cheered as the news spread. The command ship was crippled, and chaos erupted within the Council's fleet. The remaining ships began to retreat, unsure of what to do next. "Keep pushing them back!" Sarah shouted, her voice filled with hope. "This is our moment! Let's show them we will not be defeated." With newfound strength, the Earth forces pressed their attack. They moved in unison, each soldier fighting for their homes and families. The Council's arrogance began to fade as they realized they had underestimated humanity's resolve. As the last remnants of the Council's fleet turned to flee, the soldiers on the ground erupted into cheers. They had turned the tide of battle. Lucas and Mia, soaring high above, felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. They had not only defended their planet, but had shown the galaxy that humans were not to be trifled with. The battle was far from over, but today Earth had made its mark. The Galactic Council would think twice before challenging humanity again. The dust settled over the battlefield, and the air was thick with smoke. The sounds of war faded, replaced by the cheers of soldiers celebrating their hard-fought victory. Commander Sarah Green stood on the steps of the command center, her heart swelling with pride. They had faced the Galactic Council and won. "Great job, everyone!" she shouted, her voice ringing out over the crowd. "Today we showed the galaxy what humanity is capable of. We fought bravely and we will never back down." Cheers erupted as soldiers embraced each other, their faces lit with joy and relief. Among them, Captain Lucas and Sergeant Mia landed their fighter jet and climbed out, adrenaline still pumping through their veins. "Did you see that explosion?" Mia said, her eyes wide with excitement. "We actually took down their command ship!" Lucas laughed, feeling a weight lift off his shoulders. "I can't believe we did it!" "We really turned the tide, didn't we?" As they celebrated, Sarah called them over. "Lucas! Mia! Come here!" They rushed to her side, still buzzing from the battle. "You two were incredible out there," Sarah said, her eyes shining with pride. "Thanks to your bravery, we pushed back the Council's forces. We've sent a clear message to the galaxy. Earth is not to be underestimated." Lucas felt a surge of pride at the compliment. "Thank you, Commander. We just did what we had to do." Sarah nodded, her expression turning serious. "But we must remain vigilant. The Council will not give up easily. They will regroup and try again. We need to prepare for whatever comes next." As the soldiers began cleaning up the battlefield, the reality of what had happened started to sink in. They had fought for their home and won, but there was still much to be done. Back at the command center, Sarah gathered her top officers for a meeting. "We need to assess the damage and develop a plan for our defenses," she said. "If the Council comes back, we need to be ready." The officers nodded, their expressions serious. "We should also consider reaching out to other planets for alliances," one officer suggested. "If we can unite with other species, we can strengthen our position." "That's a good idea," Sarah replied, tapping her fingers on the table. "We need allies who understand our fight. The galaxy needs to know that Earth will not stand alone." Meanwhile, the news of Earth's victory spread like wildfire. News reports and holograms showed footage of the battle and interviews with soldiers. Humanity was no longer seen as weak. They were now viewed as a formidable force. As days turned into weeks, Earth began to prepare for the future. New defense systems were developed and training programs expanded. Young recruits flocked to join the military, inspired by the stories of heroism. Lucas and Mia took it upon themselves to mentor the new pilots, sharing their experiences from the battle. "Listen up, everyone," Lucas called out during training sessions. "Today, we'll learn how to maneuver under pressure, just like we did against the Council. You'll need to stay sharp, because we never know when they might come back." Mia added, "And remember, teamwork is key. We fought as a unit, and that's what saved us. If we stay united, we can overcome anything." The young recruits listened intently, eager to learn from the seasoned veterans. Each day, their skills improved and a sense of camaraderie grew among them. As preparations continued, Sarah remained focused on her goal of building alliances. She reached out to neighboring planets, offering help and support in exchange for their friendship. Many responded positively, wanting to unite against the Council and protect their own worlds. Months later, a historic meeting was held with representatives from several planets. Sarah stood before them, her voice strong and clear. Together, we can create a new alliance, one that will stand against the Galactic Council. We will show them that we will fight for our homes, and we will not back down. The representatives cheered, united in their determination. The alliance was formed, a symbol of hope and strength. As the sun set over Earth, Sarah looked out at the horizon, a sense of optimism swelling within her. They had faced darkness and emerged victorious, but this was just the beginning. The galaxy was vast, and new adventures awaited. With their newfound alliances, humanity was ready to explore the stars, ready to defend their home and protect their allies. Together, they would write a new chapter in history, one filled with hope, courage, and the promise of a bright future.